Hi everyone, in this video we're going to be taking a look at the piece La Tortue, which is contained within your initial classical guitar book 2020 to 2023. I'm going to play the whole piece all the way through for you first, and then we're going to break it down a little bit more depth. Here we go. Okay, so let's look at the piece. So we're going to begin this piece with a low A and 3 E's. And we're in mezzo forte, moderately loud, okay? So let's see if we can do that. Now we really want to try and pay attention to the markings on the music. So you can see that next to the A, we've got that little P, which means plugar, which means use your thumb. And then we've got an M-I-M above our E's, which refers to middle, index, middle, okay? So this is what we need to play. Now, if you can do this piece in rest stroke, and that would work just as fine. But you might find it a bit easier to change into free stroke, which means our fingers are hooked. I'll just turn a little bit so you can see that. So our fingers are hooked up a bit more, and we grab the string from kind of our fingertip. Normally you'd have nails for this, but I don't have mine anymore. You'd have nails and your nail would pluck the string, but if you don't, you just use the very edge of your fingertip to pluck the string up. Now it can be hard not to actually pull the string up a bit too much if you go too far under the string with your finger, because you can get this noise, which is not the sound we want. So it's just with the very tip of your finger if you don't have nails. So let's continue. So we've got our first bar, A, E, 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 and then we have an F for 4 beats, because it's just a big circle, a semi-brief. So this is quite a challenge, because we need to try and make sure that we're holding that F down for 4 beats, okay? 2, 3, 4, and see if you can get that note to ring out for the whole 4 beats. Now you might find that your guitar note actually dies out before that. Don't worry, still hold the note down for 4 beats though. So if the actual note stops, and it stops ringing after 4 beats, don't worry, but keep that note ringing on. Okay, I'll keep it pressed down. The third bar, very similar. So in this time, we have a low A again, but 3 Fs this time. F, F, F with the same right hand fingers, and then an E with that index finger. So before we move on, you want to pause the video, try and practice those first 4 bars, okay? And they should sound like this. Two, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. So pause the video now, try and practice those first 4 bars and join me for the next bit in a second. Okay, welcome back. So hopefully you found those first 4 bars okay. So let's continue. Now bars 5 and 6, we see these notes quite a lot throughout the piece. So they're quite important to get right and to know really well. So the notes that we need are low E, open E, D, C, and B. Okay? And we play it like this. Low E, E, D, C, D. Again, paying attention to the right hand finger markings and also the left-hand finger markings as well. So the right-hand finger markings are what we've got on the top, M-I, M-I, and the left-hand finger markings or numberings are the numbers next to the notes. So again, it's a real strict first position for your left hand. So any D's are third fingers, any C's are first fingers, etc. Okay, and we do that for the whole piece. Lovely. And then on the next line, we do that phrase again, E, E, D, C, B, but with a dynamic change. And it says an echo. And I think that's just referring to the fact that it's echoing what we did before. Okay, so it's like you're calling out of a canyon or something, a very echoey place, and we're hearing that back. Okay, so you might want to practice those two, that phrase, those two bars. First time, mezzo forte, and then the second time, imagining you're hearing that back in a big place, like a big room, and you're hearing that echo back, but nice and quietly. So if you can, pause the video now, practice those two sections together, so once in mezzo forte, once in piano, and then I would probably advise to try and put the whole thing together. Okay, welcome back. So hopefully you've got the first 4 bars and then the call and response, so the call and echo bit. Right then, let's move on. So now we've got something a little bit harder, I think, for this one. And this is where our free stroke technique that we were chatting about earlier in the video is going to really help us, I think. So these are the notes that we're going to need. So we're going to do a low A with our thumb. We're going to do an open E with our middle finger on our right hand. We're going to do an open B with our index finger on our right hand. Do an open E again with our middle finger. And then an F for 4 beats, which we've already done before. We did that in bar number 2. Now I find free stroke a little bit easier for this if we're doing middle and index over 2 different strings. I find that if we do rest stroke, we can get a bit muddled up, for me anyway. If you find it easier to do it in rest stroke, do it in rest stroke. But I think free stroke's a nice way to do it, okay? So that's what we've got. A, E, B, E, F, 2, 3, 4. And again, work through that yourselves. So if you want to, you can pause the video and practice those 2 bars. And now we've got a very similar idea in the last 2 bars of the line. So bar 11 and 12, bars 11 and 12, last 2 bars of the second line. It's pretty much exactly the same thing of what we've just done, but we have an F on the E string now. So now we're going to do A, F, B, F, and then E. So it's almost reversed. We're coming back to our phrase from before. So that, if you remember that call and echo phrase that we had to change the dynamics for, we've got that again in bars 13 and 14. E, E, D, C, B. And we actually do that again after that. E, E, D, C, B. But we need to do a C after that. And then to finish with the very last bar, we have an A for 4 beats, a low E, and a low A. So let me play the whole last line for you. And if you want to, you can practice that with me, or you can practice that on your own. Okay, here we go then. So this is what it sounds like. Now you may have noticed when I did that last bar, I was slowing down gradually at the end, okay? And that's what that ral is, or rallentando, which means slow down gradually. So I think it's kind of like, you know, those, a diminuendo, like a crocodile, a backwards crocodile, going from, say, forte to piano, but imagine that for speed. So we're slowing down gradually at the end, okay? It makes it a bit more dramatic. Okay, thanks for watching everybody. I hope you found this video useful. Good luck with practicing at La Tortue, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.